While I had a very basic understanding of how Dreamweaver worked, I fully developed my skills during the task of creating our Moodle website. My teacher introduced me to the basic functions of the programme, and I developed my skills thereafter. A problem which I encountered was the placement of an item on a page which was difficult without the use of a div tag. To get around this problem, each item needed to be placed inside the div tag before it was then placed on the page. Inserting our trailer onto the web page was difficult as it could not be simply added in the same way an image could be added to the page. The video needed to be inserted via a video plugin. If we were to reproduce our task, I would opt to use Dreamweaver over alternative software, as once you understand how it functions, it's very quick and easy to use.
We used a range of different media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages of our task. In the making of our magazine cover, I learned how to use Photoshop to create a more professional looking cover. Whilst using Photoshop, I learned how to use different features such as creating various layers, so I was able to superimpose the image of our main character over the magazine title. I also spent some time looking on the internet at real-life Empire covers to gain some inspiration for the group's cover. I paid particular attention to the layout of the magazine cover, especially the Inception cover. This is where I decided on the layout of the text. For example, the anchor of the text to be in the centre of the cover. I felt that this was a bold way to advertise the name of our film. I also had to take into consideration adding things such as buzzwords and incentives to the front cover, and did this by offering a free cinema ticket inside the magazine. Whilst doing this, I had to learn how to create shapes on Photoshop and how to rasterise the image before it could be used. Certain parts of the magazine cover were time consuming, such as cutting out the background around the picture of the main character to ensure that the background was completely clear. This took some time, but the effort was worth it when the cover began to come together. If I was going to do something differently when making the cover, I would try and get a better knowledge and understanding of how Photoshop actually works, instead of trying to learn as we went along, as this did prove time consuming, trying to understand how to work the tricky parts of the programme.
While editing the clips to create our final product, I used the software Sony Vegas, which allowed me to put together our teaser trailer to a high level of professionalism. There are a number of skills required to put the trailer together to a good standard, one of these being sound control. Music and sound were central elements to our trailer, as these helped to create a feeling of tension and making the audience more anticipatory of what is about to happen. I used multiple sound clips while editing the trailer, and to make them more effective, I made sure to fade the music in and change the volume levels so as to make sure the climax of the music would coincide with what was occurring at that specific moment. For example, I pieced together several quick cut clips and matched them with faster paced music that created an element of fear and urgency, something which married up with how we wanted the audience to feel at that time. It was also important to fade the music out again, particularly at the end, so there wasn't an abrupt end to our trailer. This allowed for our final product to be more realistic and professional. Another skill that I needed to use was the idea of adding text to our trailer. Although this was relatively easy, it was imperative that the text came in at the right time, but also gave the relevant pieces of information to the audience. After watching several trailers such as Inception and Insidious, I managed to piece together a product that included text in the relevant places, corresponding with the beats of the music.
We used a free piece of software known as Wix, which can be found on the internet, to create our blog, which we put all of our work on, for example our planning and our evaluation and our finished products. And the website was very useful because it had pre-made layouts that we could use to put our work onto, so we could fully create a design from scratch. And it also allowed us to use functions such as animations to get multiple images on a single page.
We use YouTube to research real media text such as trailers for Inception and other trailers that match the genre of our own trailer. We also use YouTube to upload our Wix videos, and this made it easier for us to copy the URL onto our Wix website.
When it came to editing our evaluation, we made sure to use what we were talking about at the same time to establish our points. So when we were talking about teaser trailer, for example, I made sure to use the section of the trailer that I was talking about to establish my point.